Hi everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment. If you want to be part of my spiritual podcast called Consciously Awakening, feel free to send me a message. And if you want to work with me personally and raise your consciousness on a spiritual level, feel free to send me a private message. Today I want to speak about emotional resistance and shadow work, how to use these things in order to raise your consciousness and really get you accept unaccepted parts about yourself, getting to look deep within your own self and get to discover the secret and get to discover the magic that is there. Now, what I'm coming to realize is the fact that sometimes we fail to accept ourselves. Sometimes we fail to embrace ourselves. Sometimes we fail to love ourselves. Sometimes we fail to express ourselves. And this resistance, these experiences that represent resistance, get stuck in our emotional field of consciousness. They get stuck in our emotional body. But what I'm coming to realize is the fact that the emotion always wants to come out. The emotion always strikes for happiness. The emotion always guides us into a higher state of consciousness. And what I'm coming to realize is the fact that the more that I look within myself and the more that I accept myself unconditionally, is the more that I get to raise my consciousness and is the more that I get to release these stuck emotions, okay? So the first thing to realize if you want to get rid of stuck energy is get to accept yourself unconditionally and really get to move deep within your consciousness and accept the unaccepted parts about yourself, okay? So when you love yourself, when you appreciate yourself, when you embrace yourself, you also release resistance. Now, shadow work is all about going deep into the unaccepted parts of ourselves and getting to see what is there. It is about seeing the cause of each emotion. It's about seeing the cause of each experience. It's about seeing what has triggered some things within yourself, you know? And usually the cause is fear, guys. When we don't accept our fear, we get to actually stuck it there within our subconscious mind into our unconscious mind, okay? So when we look deep within ourselves, we also get the chance to release the fear that is stuck at a subconscious level. So it's about really going deep into the rabbit hole. It's about going deep into your own source. It's about getting to see who you really are in the process. And what I'm coming to realize about looking within myself and accepting myself, it's the fact that I get to see things that haven't been accepted about myself, and honestly I get to actually discover a lot about myself. I get to see what my higher self is. I get to see who I am in the process. I get to see the fact that I'm not perfect and I'm accepting that, you know? So when you see yourself like you are not perfect, you get to actually love yourself a bit more, okay? So when you love your imperfections, when you love your fears, when you love your inner child, you get to actually expand your consciousness, and this is actually really beautiful. So emotional resistance, realize that you are actually day by day reaching a new destination. Day by day you are reaching a new point in your life. And with this knowledge, with this wisdom, you get to actually alchemize your experiences, okay? So it's about really getting to learn to keep a positive attitude in the process, you know, keeping a positive attitude and keeping a positive mindset. And what I'm also coming to realize is the fact that it's not always about positive feelings. It's more likely about getting to look deep within the void of consciousness and getting to fill it with love. Okay, whenever you love something, you also give it power. Okay, so whenever you love your pain, you also transcend your pain. Whenever you love your imperfections, you actually make them become more perfect. Okay, so guys, it's about really loving yourself. You know, when you love yourself, you really get to appreciate life a bit more. So really, shadow work is about getting to look deep within yourself and find the answer there. Because I'm realizing that in my past I have been through moments where I felt like I couldn't accept myself. But what I'm doing right now is I'm trying as much as possible to accept myself, and I'm trying as much as possible to accept my failure. You know, my failure, my imperfection, my mistakes. You know, I'm actually becoming an alchemist, and really the alchemist is about turning negative experiences into gold, turning negative experiences in your favor, turning the low vibrational state of consciousness into a high vibrational state of consciousness. So it's about learning to not take it so seriously, because you are an infinite spiritual being having a human experience. And when you get to see your power, which is actually found within yourself, you get to actually express yourself in a different way. You get to actually raise your levels of consciousness. You get to be a new person each day. Now, what I see is the fact that it's about allowing myself to change. You know, it's about really finding the motivation of change. Because when you allow yourself to change, you also put things into movement. You place things into potential. You place your consciousness and your action into attracting a new outcome into your life. You know, so it's about really getting to learn to keep a positive attitude in the process, because in a way we are always striving for happiness, and everything that we are doing is because we want to be happy. We want to feel joyous. We want to feel in tune with ourselves, and it's okay to want that. But what I'm also coming to realize is the fact that it's also okay to get to learn to get better at feeling, because it's not always about happiness. We cannot always stay happy. It's also about learning to do the inner work and get to accept our fears, get to accept our sadness. And trust me, there is beauty in sadness. There is beauty in fear. There is beauty in chaos, because in chaos there is great order. So really, when you learn to balance your energies, when you learn to balance the energy, you also learn to step into a more balanced state of consciousness, which is about action and inaction, masculine and feminine, positive and negative. You know, I realize that there is no good or bad, there is only energy. There is only how we choose to make it. There is only how we choose to perceive it. So it's about really learning to shift our mind in such a way that we learn to actually make the best out of the worst. And really making the best out of the worst is about love. It's about a high frequency. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you. And it's about learning to express yourself again. I realize that some of us go through depression. Some of us go through chaos. Some of us go through crisis. But these things are happening with a purpose. And that purpose is for you to awaken to a new state of consciousness. That purpose is for you to awaken to a new high frequency. It's about learning stuff about yourself, you know. If you get to know yourself, you will get to know the universe itself. So get to know yourself in the process, get to know who you really are, get to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and get to actually alchemize these things with acceptance, with action, with sending love into the universe, with expressing love. You know, so yeah, shadow work. It's about going deep within ourselves and finding the answer there, because we're not perfect. But when we accept our flaws, when we love our flaws, when we love our imperfections, we also get to become a new person in the process, you know. So yeah, this is today's motivational message. Realize that emotional resistance happens when we are not willing to accept something about ourselves. Now, what I'm coming to realize is the fact that we are always guided. And honestly, we are guided from the spirit realm. We are guided from another source of consciousness, which is the spirit realm. Call it the fifth dimension, call it heaven, call it the universe, call it higher intelligence, call it the higher self. We are always guided. And whenever we are listening to this guidance, we are feeling joyous and happy. So what I'm suggesting is follow your guidance as much as possible. follow your guidance as much as possible, and really get to step into a creative process. The more that you move things into your life is the more that you move the energies inside of your own body, is the more that you get to listen to your body's wisdom. So step into movement, start creating something, start expressing something out there. You know, this is how to do it. This is how to raise your consciousness. Use your gifts, use your talents. Because when you use your talents, you also help the world expand, you know? So don't be static. Of course, you also have to be static sometimes. You also have to be static sometimes. You also have to relax yourself. But don't stagnate, and really get to see that expression of yours and get to actually use it. You know, what I'm also coming to realize is the fact that I have to celebrate failure. I have to celebrate failure because I cannot always win, but I can always learn. I cannot always win, but I can always learn. And when I learn, I become humble. When I learn, I become a new version of myself, which is all about expansion and developing myself, you know? So yeah, keep a positive mindset, guys, because you deserve to be happy. You know, you deserve to be your best version. But until you get to the destination, enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Enjoy where you are right now. Enjoy where you are right now. And realize that everything that is happening for you. When you get to alchemize your inner world, you get to actually shift your 3D reality. Because the outer is a reflection of the inner. When we change the inner, the outer world will change as well. Okay? So yeah, shadow work and emotional resistance. This is how to deal with it. Look within yourself, accept yourself. Be an alchemist. Surrender to your guidance. Accept it, love it, embrace it. Face yourself, face your fears, face your imperfection. Make the subconscious conscious by stepping into action, maybe, by allowing yourself to feel, by creating something beautiful for yourself and for the world, by relaxing, maybe, you know. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. This is today's message about emotional resistance and shadow work. It was a bit motivational, and what I'm coming to realize is the fact that we are always expanding. But what I'm also coming to realize is the fact that we gotta become conscious in this process. We gotta become conscious of our skills, of our talents, of our gifts. Guys, thanks for watching, and like always, see you on what is coming up next. I love you so much, and this is today's video about shadow work and emotional resistance. Feel free to be yourself in the process, because you deserve to be happy, you deserve to be yourself, and you deserve to win the game of life with love. Guys, thanks for watching, and like always, see you on what is coming up next. See ya.